Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's your girl Betty here, and I'm back with another one for you beautiful people. Today I wanted to talk about my birth story. Now you guys know I have two kids, so I will be breaking them up into two separate videos, because if I don't, it will be long as hell. My oldest, as you know, his name is Hunter. I'm going to be talking about his birth stories. I had my oldest son in another state. He was born in Pennsylvania. I had an okay pregnancy. I had not that much issues, although during the middle of my pregnancy, actually no, I didn't have an okay pregnancy. My pregnancy was actually kind of crazy, because during the middle of my pregnancy, when I was like 4 or 5 months, the doctors felt like I had Placenta Previa, I think it's called. The placenta was actually, I think, located at the bottom where the opening of my cervix is at, or my, like, you know, where the baby comes out, or it was just not in the correct position that's deemed safe for pregnancy. So I had to go get a 3D ultrasound done so that they could see exactly where my placenta was really at, and come to find out it was actually not in a bad location. It was actually okay. An okay pregnancy. I did have issues with blood pressure. I had no diabetes or anything like that, but I definitely had issues with blood pressure. Towards the end, at 38 weeks, I believe. Yeah, it was at 38 weeks, I went into the doctor with my husband, and they was like, you know, weeks prior to that, they was like, if your blood pressure does not go down, we are going to have to induce you, and stuff like that. So my husband and I was like, oh boy, this is crazy, because we thought we was gonna make it to full term. We literally thought I was gonna be like, hey, my water broke, come here, and we're about to have this baby and stuff like that, but it did not go exactly like that. So basically, I went in with my husband, and the doctor took my blood pressure, and he said, okay, since you're at 38 weeks, it seems like your blood pressure isn't going down, and we don't want to have any complications. We're going to go ahead and induce you tonight. So my husband and I was ecstatic. We weren't prepared, but we had already packed up a hospital bag like a week or two before, because I was so close to giving birth. And there was a point where I actually thought my water broke, and I went in, and my water didn't break. It was just fluid that was not amniotic fluid. So it was good. Yeah, so my husband and I went home. We cleaned up the house. We fixed everything that needed to be fixed. I took a shower. He took a shower. We packed to make sure everything was packed. And so we waited for nightfall to come, because we had that appointment towards the afternoon or whatever. So nighttime came. It was time for us to go. My sister and I, my sister had said that she was going to drop us off at the hospital at the time. So we was like, okay, cool, then we don't have to worry about having to take a cab or taking the bus, because the state that we was living in, the bus doesn't run after a certain time, and they wanted us there by 8 p.m. So she was like, she was gonna drop us off, and we was like, okay, that's cool. So here's the funny part. So as it's 8 p.m, well, it's like 7 something, my sister's outside, and she's waiting for us to get in the car. Our neighbors is outside. They heard that we're actually about to go give birth tonight, so they were like outside asking me if I'm nervous and stuff like that. In the midst of all of this, my husband is like, all right, you ready? Let's go. Boom, and closes the door, right? So we're walking away, and I'm about to open the door to the car, and he goes, babe, you won't believe this. And I'm like, what? I forgot the hospital bag inside the house, and the keys are inside the house. I was like, oh my God, no, he did not. He was so nervous that he actually locked the hospital bag with the hospital keys, with the apartment keys inside of the bag, inside of the house. And he locked the door already. So he went into straight panic mode. Me, I had no room to panic, because I was already, you know, I was big, and I was trying to prepare myself mentally and physically for this birth. So what ended up happening is that the neighbors had given us a number, and we had to call this guy. It sounds so sketchy when you think about it now, but we lived in an apartment complex that was for management, and it was hard to reach the actual landlord. So we had to call this guy, and then he needed money up front to open up our door. And we was like, we didn't have the money at the time. Honestly, we was broke as hell. We didn't have the money at the time to open the door. So he was like, I'll open it and then you guys pay for me later. And then I only think the reason why he actually did us that favor is because I was pregnant. I mean, to be quite honest with you, if he did not open the door, I probably would have had to just call the cops, or the fire department would have had to open it, because we needed what was in that bag, you know what I'm saying? And that would have been worse for them in a sense. So he opened up the door, and then he was like, he was so rude to my husband. I remember he was like, next time try not to forget, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, geez, like, people, like, my husband and I has never done that before. And I know for a fact the only reason why that happened to him was because he was nervous. His first son is about to be born, you know. So that's that. So we hop into my sister's car. We're driving up this hill. Like, the hospital, she had GPS on, and she took a direction that was so weird. So the hospital was like up a hill, and it was going like this, right? So she was going up the hill. There was no lights. So we're literally going up a two-way hill with no lights, trying to get to this hospital. So she drops us off, which I was so happy that she was able to do that for us. She drops us off at the hospital, and we're walking our way. You know, we're all excited, we're happy. People on the way there is telling us congratulations and stuff like that. And we're sitting, we finally reach, and they told us, okay, so go ahead and sit down and wait while we get a room prepared for you. So my husband and I are sitting down. There's other people around us that's pregnant and expecting as well tonight. Or they could have been also there because they needed to be seen by a doctor, because like I said, that's the same place that I went in to go get seen because I thought my water had broke prior. Told us to go sit down, and we sat down, and we was there from, I kid you not guys, from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. we sat in the waiting room waiting for a room. It was the most longest time of my life. And I got really cranky, and I went up to the front desk and I said, you guys, I've been here for 4 hours. I'm pregnant. I need to eat. Can I eat something, please? And they were like, yeah, go ahead. Go eat something. Go get something. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's okay. I'm sorry that you had to wait for so long. So my husband is like, all right, let me go find you a vending machine. Boom. My husband stands there and he's looking for his wallet. He's like, wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God, where's my wallet? So my husband is like, I had my wallet before leaving the apartment, because he did check after, you know, leaving the bag. He did check to see if everything was there. And he did have his wallet when he left the apartment. So he called my sister, and my sister was on her way back to home. And my sister was like looking for the wallet, and he was like, do you see it? And she said, yeah, it's here at the side of the car. Oh my God. So my sister had to drive back, bring my husband the wallet. Then my husband was like, oh my God, I literally left. So the hospital bag was left in the house. My husband left his wallet in my sister's car, right? That's the start of the night of me getting induced. So my husband goes to the vending machine to get me something to eat. And I was just telling him, like, just get me anything. Like, I'll eat anything, literally. Any snack you can find me, any drink you can get me, I'll have some. I think that I find it wrong that they leave pregnant women for so long to wait for stuff like that. You know, you're hungry, you know, you have another baby inside of you. Like, they should accommodate a little bit better to how they treat the pregnant women inside of the waiting rooms. I don't know, I just didn't like that feeling. But I love that hospital though. That's like my favorite hospital thus far, but for pregnancy. So my husband went to get something in the vending machine for me, and when he came back, he was like, you will not believe what just happened. I'm like, oh my God. Now, I already dealt with the hospital bag being left in the house, the keys in the house, the wallet in the car. What is it now? He hurt his hand. He had this huge cut on his hands, because why? The snack that came out the vending machine got stuck in the vending machine, so he had to use his hand to get the snack out. So I was like, Jesus Christ, this is not your night, right? Like like, still to this day when we talk about it, we think about how like crazy that night was. But yeah, so I ended up getting something to eat. He got me something to eat, and then finally 4 hours later, like around 12 a.m., they was like, okay, your room is ready. They took us to my room. It was a regular room with a bed. He had a chair, I remember, and there was like TV and all the stuff being hooked up. I had my own bathroom, and it was not my room to stay in. It was just my room to give birth in. So yeah, I had gotten 2 epidurals that night. The first epidural I got was only able to numb one side of my body, and the second epidural was able to numb all of my body. So after like, I think like, I don't know how long it took for me to request for the epidural, but I know I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, yeah, I need the epidural. I can't do this anymore. Family had came over to visit. My mother-in-law had came with her husband and her kids as well, and then my sister had came too to visit me throughout that whole time that I was in the birthing room. There was a point where they wanted to stay so that I could give birth, but they thought I was gonna give birth that night or like the next day, but it didn't happen. Like Hunter didn't come out until the next day. So by Thursday, November 12th, was when my cervix dilated to a 10, and I had fell asleep. My husband and I fell asleep, and we woke up that afternoon, and because it's hard to get sleep when you're in the hospital. So we woke up that afternoon, and the doctor came in and checked my cervix, and I remember just being groggy because I was just so tired. My husband was so tired, and he was like, he pulled out his hand with like, not to be TMI, there was so much blood on there, but he pulled out his hand. He's like, yep, you're 10 centimeters dilated. We're gonna get this going. I was like, oh my God. I turned over to my husband, and my husband was like, and I was like, we was just so excited, like, to see our baby boy. And from what I can remember, I don't remember it took me that long to push. All I remember is it was time for me to push. Like, I felt like the baby needed to come out, and it was right there. It felt like you needed to take a shit, but you didn't have a toilet. That's how bad it was. And so I felt like I needed to push. I told the nurse was like, please hold on. I mean, I know you need to push. You can push a little bit, but don't push too much so you don't hurt yourself. And she was rushing. I see people rushing. It went from 2 nurses to, like, I kid you not, it was like 10 to 12 people. 10 to 12 people came in, and it was like a whole group of people. It was amazing. It felt like a football team. Like, my husband's right here with like 10 different doctors and nurses, and in the midst of me pushing, they had my legs all the way back. And so they had me push. And like, I think like by the second push, my doctor, no, actually before I started pushing, my doctor came in, and he is like the best doctor I've ever had in my life. And I will always cherish and appreciate him and how smooth he made the transition for me. So he was standing right here chewing on a piece of gum. Like, this was nothing to him, and he didn't have to touch me. It had basically the other nurses and doctors were the ones that did everything. He was just there. So he was standing like right here or something like that, and he was just, you got this, Betty, you could do this, and stuff like that. So I'm pushing. My husband got one leg. The other lady nurse got my other leg, and I was like, hold my leg up. I felt like she wasn't holding my leg up. So I was pushing, and I'm pushing, and then Hunter's head starts to come out, and my doctor at the time, who was my doctor throughout the whole pregnancy, was like, Betty, the head is here. Do you want to touch it? And I'm like, no. I didn't want to feel anything. Like, I didn't want to feel him coming out my body. Like, it was just, the science of it all is crazy. So I just didn't want to touch anything. So my husband was like, he's here, he's coming out, he has hair and stuff like that. I remember him saying that. And they were coaching me like it was a football game. They were like, push, baby, push. You can do this. Betty, you can do this. You can push. Yes, girl. Yes, you got this. Yes. I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Like, and so finally, I pushed Hunter all the way out. My baby came out, and he was born at 8 pounds, 4.5 ounces. My husband, he teared up. And in the process of him coming out, he actually gave me, I think it was a 1st-degree tear, and so they had to stitch up the lower part of my cervix, I think. I can't remember, but they had to stitch something that really hurt for a very long time. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, it was pretty painful. So yeah, that was literally it. Like, my whole pregnancy was good, except for the fact that they thought that I had placenta previa, and also I did suffer with preeclampsia. So I had to get induced due to preeclampsia. So yeah, I had a vaginal delivery, and he was born perfectly okay, and there was no issues at all. It was oh, the only thing is that Hunter did swallow some meconium, so they had to they didn't allow my husband to cut the umbilical cord because they had to check him to see if he was okay and stuff like that. So he swallowed some poop. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share my first son's birth story with you guys. I will be coming in with a later one with my second son. That one was a bit more traumatic. So I'll definitely be giving you that video as well pretty soon, probably before Thanksgiving gets here, because I know it's like a week or two before Thanksgiving. So I'll definitely be letting that out for you guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me. Don't forget to thumbs this up, and if you are new here, hi, my name is Betty and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything that I do post. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that it can alert you on your phone when you're at work, when you're home, you're not doing anything. Just, you can just chill and watch my video for a little bit, can't hurt. Don't forget to also follow my social media. I'll leave it down below. I realize that I haven't been posting that lately, but I am big on social media. I'm mostly here on Instagram and Twitter a lot, and Facebook a lot, so you'll definitely see me on there. Snapchat is like I'm on and off with that, so definitely don't forget to follow my social media, and I will see you beautiful people in a later one. Don't forget to stay beautiful, love yourself, and don't you ever give up. I'll see you guys later.